and start because I want to respect your time. So thank you for being here. If you don't know me, my name is Margaret Raitt, and I am a wellness advocate for doTERRA. And all that means to you is that I love helping people with whatever ails them using natural solutions. So first of all, during this workshop, I'm going to try to keep it to 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes long, depending on your questions. It's helpful for you to have maybe a pen and paper handy to take notes. And I would love, love, love participation in the chat. It just makes me realize that you're not falling asleep. So um, let's get going. So first of all, this always happens. There we go. First of all, I want to personalize this to be most helpful for you. So if you want to put this in the chat, great. But what would you like to address for your health on this screen here? Just put the number of what you have, an area that you are struggling in: digestive, headaches, pain, inflammation, immunity issues, stress or anxiety, energy, stamina, sleep issues, blood sugar regulation. If it's not listed, go ahead and put whatever whatever you would like to address in the chat box if you feel comfortable doing that. So I think you're going to be excited to know that there are many options that you have to take care of the root issues of your health that are causing these issues. So we're going to talk about modern approach to healthcare versus natural approach. So before we do, I want to share a few studies with you. The FDA estimates that 200,000 Americans are hospitalized every year because of overdoses and side effects of NSAIDs. I don't know how you say that, but it's like Advil, ibuprofen, aspirin. They are also the cause of thousands of deaths per year. Even Tylenol is known to cause liver damage if used to excess. And if you want copies of any of these studies that I am talking about tonight, you can just reach out to me later and I can get you the list if you want to look at them yourself. I share this information because it reflects our modern approach to medicine. I am not anti-doctor. I am not anti-modern approach. We just believe in a combined approach at doTERRA. If you look at the natural approach, it focuses on the root causes. Modern approach often just focuses on symptoms. And that's why, you know, if you have a symptom, they're going to give you a prescription for that symptom instead of looking at the actual root cause. So if you look at the natural, or sorry, the natural approach here, you can see that it's much much better for you, much healthier. So what creates disease in the body? There are three main factors that cause disease in the body: nutrient deficiency, inflammation, and toxic overload. And we're going to talk about each one of these. First of all, nutrition. Nutrition is at the core of our immune function. When our nutrition buckets in our body are filled, we function optimally with energy, clarity of thought, clarity of thinking, good mood, great sleep, and little to no inflammation. But according to the Environmental Working Group, this chart that's on the screen, 95% of US adults are deficient in vitamin D, 94% are deficient in vitamin E, 61% in magnesium, and you can read the rest of the list there. So the nutrition buckets in our body are not full, which means most of us do not have a great baseline health. The results of nutrient deficiency can vary from person to person, but just to name a few: inflammation, headaches, lack of sleep, foggy thinking, lack of energy, digestive issues. I mean, the list goes on and on. Poor nutrition is the #1 cause of poor health. If you agree, just mention that in the chat. By the way, I don't have my chat open right now, but I will make sure I cover all the questions, because if I open my chat, I think it's going to mess up my screen for me. Okay, second, let's talk about inflammation. So what causes inflammation? The biggest contributors, or actually, can you guess? You probably can guess. One of the biggest contributors is sugar. It's in nearly everything we consume now. Another cause of inflammation is stress or lack of sleep and toxins in the environment. Chronic inflammation is linked to diseases like the ones listed on the screen. You can read those. I'm not going to go through all those. But, inflammation is the cause of a lot of issues. So toxic load to the body. This is the third area we're looking at as a source for disease, and it refers to the chemicals in our body that build up from our environment, our processed foods, pesticide use, and personal care products. So the Product Safety Commission tested and found 150 cleaning chemicals that are linked to ADD, asthma, cancer, reproductive problems, respiratory problems, and more. We can't always control what we come in contact with outside the home, but we can make smarter choices in our homes. So what do we do with all this? We're just about ready to see our first health solution. However, we're going to take a quick look at the supplement industry. So let's go to the chat feature, and who here uses supplements? I'm actually going to open the chat. Okay. If you're already using supplements, just go ahead and say yes. All right. Most of us do, right? So now let's take a quick peek at the supplement industry. Another study by the FDA from 2007 to 2016 detected contaminants in 776 dietary supplements produced by 146 companies. And another study of 3 leading memory supplements found that 2 of them didn't contain the active ingredient listed on the label. The supplement industry is not heavily regulated. They can contain lots of fillers and not as much of the actual ingredient, which is pretty scary. However, because our standard American diet is deficient in most vitamins and nutrients, it is necessary to supplement to make sure that our bodies get what they need to function properly. So why does this keep happening to me? Sorry. Okay. So in comes my first solution, the Lifelong Vitality supplements. We call this LLV for short because it's kind of a mouthful. This is our best-selling product, by the way. I know most of you think that we're only known for our essential oils, which I will talk about in the second half of this workshop, but our supplements are second to none. Like, I've been on these for over 10 years. Anyway, this is our best-selling product. It helps in all the 3 areas we just mentioned: nutrient deficiency, inflammation, and toxic overload. Think of this as the line of the foundation for your health house. It has everything you need. So it has micronutrients that fill the nutrient buckets in your body. It also contains powerful antioxidants to help protect your DNA, made with whole food ingredients, and it's 95% bioavailable. That means that your body is actually going to absorb those nutrients. The average supplement is only 20 to 30% bioavailable. So this product alone has gotten more people off of their over-the-counter and prescription medications than any other product that doTERRA offers. And I'm going to share with you real quick. This product is what led me to become a wellness advocate with doTERRA. I was having some health issues over 10 years ago. The doctors couldn't figure them out, and they just wanted to point to my mom's medical history, which was a neurological disease that was terminal. And thankfully, I tested negative for that, but that's all they were willing to look at. Then they said to me, "What are you going to do?" They didn't give me any ideas of, specialists or anything. They never checked my nutrient levels, first of all. So I just decided to take control, and I had a friend who had introduced me to doTERRA, and I had heard about these vitamins, and I heard all the success stories. So I decided to try them. Within 2 weeks, I had more energy. And within about a month to 2 months, my symptoms, I was having muscle fasciculations, completely went away. Well, now I know that I was for sure deficient in magnesium because my current healthcare provider confirmed with me after she did a nutrient panel for me, and I came back with zero deficiencies. And she could not even believe that report. She said she's only had a handful of patients that had zero nutrient deficiencies, and she told me it was my supplements and to stay on them. So that was all the affirmation I needed. I know how I feel. I feel better, but seeing that report made me feel like I was doing the right thing for my body. So, and these are not just put together. These are based on a lot of research, and they did a 60-day clinical trial where people took the Lifelong Vitality for 2 months and they looked at their results before and after and look at all of the improvement areas: blood lipids, fasting insulin, cardiovascular biomarkers, cellular inflammation, positive effects on inflammation. I'm just reading a few of these. You can read the screen. Overall improvement with mental clarity. Oh my gosh. Brain fog is such a big issue for all of us nowadays. Mental clarity, energy, motivation, balance, and happiness. So I consider this part of my food budget. It actually only comes down to $2.93 a day, which knowing all the benefits I'm getting, that is a bargain. And if you consider maybe what you spend money on a daily basis, if you have like your Starbucks run or whatever it is, maybe consider swapping that out for the Lifelong Vitality. If you want to focus on your gut health specifically, we have some amazing supplements that I would add on top of the Lifelong Vitality. We have a whole probiome system. We have a capsule that has prebiotics, probiotics, postbiotics, and macrophages, which there's a whole nother class on that, but this is the best probiotic I've ever seen because it has all of those things. Most probiotics just have the pre and the probiotics. They don't have all the others that I just mentioned. And then we also have a sachet form, kind of like a pixie stick that kids can take and adults can take for added support specifically for the gut. The microbiome actually covers a lot of different areas in your body, not just your gut. So that's why the Restore is recommended for you. Terrazyme is our digestive enzymes. The way we grow our food nowadays, it doesn't have the enzymes in it that it used to in the old days. I shouldn't say old days. It wasn't that long ago. Probably 50, probably 100 years ago, or maybe 80 years ago. Anyway, now we all know how they've just engineered growing of food and all the things that are in it, and they've bred the nutrition out of it. So we don't have as many enzymes. So these are some digestive enzymes that just help you absorb the nutrients from your food. It helps you break down the food. And oh my gosh, it's amazing. Like if I ever eat a steak or a meal where I know I ate more than I should, and I'm just bloated and really full, I'll take 2 Terrazyme within 10 minutes. I feel like everything's digested. It's a miracle. So time for a little interaction. I will look back at the chat. We're about to head into the second section of our workshop, and I just want to make sure you're still with me. So can you guess what percentage have diabetes cases increased in America since 1960? And then number 2, how long does it take the average American to consume the same amount of sugar that our ancestors from 200 years ago would consume in a year? Any guesses? Let's see how close you are. Oh, Carrie. Oh, wow. You both did a good job on that first one. You're not even gonna believe it. 700%. Okay, and so Rebecca guessed one day. That's one day. Wow, wouldn't that be something? Not far off. Carrie, do you want to take a guess? 3 days. You're both pretty close. It's 2 weeks. I think people are getting more and more aware of sugar, but I still see a lot of sugar consumption around me. Anyway, 2 weeks which is still pretty crazy because sugar is in everything nowadays. Um, every time I go to chat, it does that. Now, um, only 6.8% of the population have optimal cardiometabolic health. Cardiometabolic health means your body can digest and absorb nutrients from food with healthy, stable levels of blood sugar, blood fat, and insulin. Fluctuations are okay if there's not a lot of them, but if it's constant, it's very unfavorable in the long term. So incomes are, we have a whole metabolic system. There's a whole nother class on this, so I'm not going to bore you with all the details. If you want the details, I can send you that recording. But MetaPower stands for Metabolic Health, Personal Wellness Realized. This was specifically designed to tackle poor cardiometabolic health. This is the macronutrient line. So it pairs really well with a lifelong vitality. And it does three things. It addresses cellular repair that leads to aging. It addresses blood sugar regulation. And it supports the inhibiting of fat absorption into cells. So those that have been using this line have reported improvements in their eyesight, their energy, pain, neuropathy, sleep, skin, hair growth, mood, mobility, and strength, and also brain fog or clarity of mind. I mean, there's a long list here. I have noticed a lot of those things. I've been taking this. I take one of these next. I take one of the Advantage daily. I'll show you that on the next page. But I've noticed a lot of improvement in a lot of those areas. So here are some before and afters. So the young lady on the top had only been using MetaPower for 4 months, and you can just tell by the way she looks. And then the gentleman at the lower left, he got his blood work taken after 3 weeks on MetaPower, and it showed a 40-point decrease in cholesterol, 25-point decrease in LDL, and 57-point decrease in triglycerides. That's pretty impressive. And you can tell by looking at him, he just looks healthier. And then on the right side is a 58-year-old lady who had red spots on her arms. And anytime she bumped herself, they would appear. And the doctors biopsied and said it's just what happens when you get older. Yeah, lovely. So after using MetaPower for just 3 months, the spots are gone, and she has seen other changes too. She lost 60 pounds. She has thicker hair, nails growing, and a lower A1C. So that's all pretty impressive. I'm just going to focus on this main product of the system because I love this one, and everybody's taking collagen. So this is collagen plus NMN. But ours has 9 different types of collagen. Most of the collagens on the market only have 1 or 2. If you're taking a collagen, I challenge you to look at the package and see which types of collagen are in there. The most common ones are for skin and hair. And then ours are 70% tripeptides, which means it absorbs 12 times more than other collagens. And they come in nice little small package. You can take them on the go. I have a whole class on this again, but I do want to point out the different types of collagen because for me personally, I played college volleyball, so I have a lot of residual inflammation in my joints, joint pain, things like that. So for me, I love number 2, bone protection, cartilage. I love number 6, muscle function, because as I get older, I'm not as strong. And then 9, cartilage, growth plates. I mean, let's face it, I love it all. Supports normal brain aging. I mean, this is an amazing product. So here, it's not just collagen. It has all these other ingredients in it. You probably recognize some of these: liposomal vitamin C, biotin, resveratrol. All stuff. So now we're going to change direction. And so there is a difference in essential oils. There's a lot of them on the market. So University of Kansas, Hopefully you're still with me. Anyway, doTERRA oils were found to be therapeutically relevant in cell growth and rejuvenation, metabolic health, healthy inflammatory responses. So other essential oils had minimal effects. So Roseman University concluded basically that doTERRA was the most pure and the most therapeutic brand on the market. And that is because we have no fillers, no synthetic ingredients, no dilution, comes from plants grown in their ideal environments, ideal chemistry, consistency in that chemistry, over 54 tests to ensure on each batch, 54 tests to ensure purity and potency. And ours can be used topically, aromatically, and internally. Now, not all of them are meant for internal. We do follow FDA guidelines, but a lot of them can be used internally. So doTERRA is the safest option. So you can see too on the bottles, if you have a bottle, the supplement facts will tell you right on there if it's safe for internal use. It'll have the supplement facts. If it's not on there, it'll say for aromatic and topical use only. So I want to show you on the right-hand side, like what happens if you think another brand is just as good. So these two sisters were staying at their grandma's house, and she was out of her doTERRA lavender, which they used every night before bed on their chest, and they were used to it, so they wanted it. So grandma thought, oh, well, it's only lavender. I'll just use this other brand that I have. Well, the girls ended up with chemical burns. You can see in the pictures, the scars lasted for almost a year. I'm not saying this will be your reaction, but it's important that you understand the risks of other brands. You cannot trust because there's no regulation in the industry. Okay? All right. Now we're going to talk about how you don't have to use as much because they're more potent. You only need to use 1 to 2 drops, sometimes less than that if you're diluting it. This chart on the left shows you how affordable they are per drop, and they can go a long way. Each bottle has 250 drops in it. These are 50 to 70 times more powerful or more potent than herbs. So like what is it? 1 cup of, you need 28 cups of peppermint tea to equal 1 drop of peppermint. So anyway, and they're very effective. You can see the little cell on the right-hand side. The cells are lipophilic. They're surrounded by an oily membrane. So it's to protect our cells. The oils can actually penetrate that membrane and get in to help work on the health of the cell. That little purple guy in there is representing a virus. So we can actually get in and start working on minimalizing and eradicating that. So you can get over something quicker. The doctors aren't going to give you anything anyway, so you might as well do something at home. Now, the bacterial infection lies on the outside of the cell, which is why they can give us synthetic antibiotics. But I'm telling you, the oils will work with the bacterial infection as well. So first of all, we're going to talk about immune support. And I'm not going to read everything on here. You can read, but I am going to just point out, I mean, I use oregano as something I go to when I'm sick. It also can help with warts and other things, but it's kind of my go-to when I'm under the weather. Tea tree, almost on a daily basis. Use it for all kinds of things. You can see the list there. On Guard sold out in May of 2020. We all remember what was going on there because it is the Mac Daddy to support your immune system. Can also soothe the sore throat, can help with oral health, and a lot more. Frankincense is the king of all oils. We say when in doubt, get your frankincense out. It can be used to reduce inflammation. It relieves head tension, supports immune function. Strengthens the other oils when you use it together. You can diffuse it during prayer time or meditation. I mean, there's way more uses for all of these, but frankincense is something I do on a daily basis because there's a lot of unhealthy cells in my family history, if you can catch my drift. And this has been studied to keep the to kill the unhealthy cells while keeping the healthy cells alive. Hopefully you can understand what I'm talking about there. All right, now these are some of your medicine cabinet basics here. I use every single one of these, probably minus the digestin on a daily basis, because the digestin I only use when I have issues, but breathe I use every night. It keeps my husband from snoring. I diffuse it at night. And I combine it with our Serenity for sleep, which I'll talk about in the next couple slides. But also just great at opening up your airways if you have sinus issues. Peppermint's good for that too. Lemon, lavender, and peppermint I take daily in a shot glass to keep my seasonal threats away. But these are all just like great medicine cabinet basics that you're going to use for many issues. And don't worry, we'll give you the resources to look stuff up. Now, pain and inflammation, this is a huge one for a lot of people, including myself. So Deep Blue, we have a whole line called Deep Blue. We have a rub, which is a cream, we have a stick, and we have the oil blend. Now, the oil blend has oils that reduce inflammation, oils that promote healing, and then the analgesics to mask the pain. So you're actually working on the root cause while you are dealing with your pain, which is crazy, amazing. This has worked so many times for me and my kids with their competitive sports, but I don't want this workshop to go super long. It works like a charm. And then we have on the left there, the Deep Blue capsules, which they are something to take internally. So like that is my substitute for ibuprofen or any of those NSAIDs that we talked about earlier. And this you cannot OD on. It's natural. So it helps. I ran out of it once and my knees were killing me and I had to, or I couldn't wait to get it in, and I made sure I never ran out of it again. So I do take that on a daily basis just because of my history and my joints. And sometimes your new normal, you forget that you're not in pain anymore until you're not taking it. And then that comes back and you're like, oh. Copaiba is also very anti-inflammatory. This is a soft gel, which also comes in an oil. I take the soft gel at night to relax my body and help me sleep. This is a great substitute for CBD, which CBD is not regulated very, if you found a good CBD product, fine. But I like this because I know there's not ever any THC or anything in it. It's just got the copaiba oil. It can also help with ADD and ADHD. It's good for focus. It just calms the nervous system. So it's just a phenomenal one as well. Okay, now mood and emotional support. So we're going to wrap up our oil session with this. Now, balance is our grounding blend. It can help with stress. Don't let anybody do this. It can help with stress, grief and trauma, mood swings, jet lag, and a lot more. And I'm going to tell you a way you can get that for free. If you're a new customer, you can get that for free this month. And the adaptive is also good. Adaptive can also help with focus. It's great for anxious feelings, moodiness, balancing your mind, mental fatigue. So they named it adaptive because basically you could adapt to any situation. It does come in a regular 15 ml bottle, full strength, and then it has we have the roller. So the roller just makes it more convenient for using it topically, and it's already diluted. So the roller is also another free gift I'll tell you about here in a minute, depending on how much you spend. Those are two gifts that I get to offer because I have a special promo code. And then Serenity. Oh, if you have sleep issues, this is your go-to right here. I diffuse that oil with the Breathe at night, like I mentioned, because the Breathe keeps my husband from snoring and the Serenity helps me sleep through the night. And it's also very calming. It's not just for sleeping, but it's mainly for sleeping. And then we have our soft gel restful complex, which also helps me sleep. It has wild tart cherry in it, which helps you produce natural melatonin. I learned recently that taking the synthetic melatonin is not good for our body because it tricks our body into thinking we're producing it. So this helps you produce your own melatonin, and it really does help me sleep much more soundly. I have vivid dreams and I just feel more rested. Now, the thing on the right is a stick, and that's wonderful for just putting it on your wrists, or I do it on the bottom of my feet, and it's just an added support to help me sleep better. So, any questions about anything before we wrap things up? Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. I'm just going back. Okay. Um, so I just want to share that. Okay, I want to tell you a little bit, like in my background, I grew up we popped pills for everything. We took 4 ibuprofen every time we had a basketball game because that's what my mom told me to do. We went to the doctor for everything. So I am the last person I ever thought would be doing anything like this. But once I learned that I could take care of most things at home naturally, and especially with those lifelong vitality vitamins and how they changed the trajectory of my health. Um, I'm just really grateful to doTERRA for having high quality products and letting me help them make a difference in other people's lives. So if this is something that you would like, to take advantage of, or if you want to get some of these products into your home, I'm going to direct you back to the person who invited you tonight if it wasn't me, and they're going to help you. I'm going to show you some of the freebies you're going to get. But if this is something that you feel like you would love to share with your friends and family, let's do your own workshop. Let's get you some free product. And if it's something, if you would looking for a side hustle or you want to make some extra money, we would be happy to help you do that too. But there's never any pressure. 85% of my customers are customers, and like maybe a couple people that actually want to do the business with me. So we love our customers. So we would love for you to be our customer. Now, these are the freebies I get to offer with my special promo code. And if I can put that in the chat, or you can just get it from the person who invited you tonight. But depending on how much you order, you're going to get all these products for free. I mentioned the balance. That's a picture in the middle of a diffuser. Now you have a choice of a diffuser or two other things as your gift if it's a 150 point order. Everything has a point value. It's pretty close to dollar. Um, it's not always the same. So these all go by the points. 100 points is approximately $100. Um, but if you're getting any of the things I talked about tonight, you're going to be able to get these for free, most likely. And then if you decide to subscribe and get, at least one product again next month, and your order's over 125 points, they're going to throw in a free guaiac wood, which is pretty amazing oil. You can learn more about that from the person who invited you. And these are the gifts you get to choose at 150 points. There's the diffuser, which most people choose, but if you don't want that, you can choose foaming hand soap and dispenser, or our 2 toothpastes, which are phenomenal. And then if you've thought of people, as I'm talking tonight, people that you know that need what we have, you can get this keychain filled with some of these oils. I'll start you out with 4 oils, and then we'll add another free oil for every person who attends your workshop. We can do this on Zoom just like this. We can do it in person if you're local to me, or if I'm going to be in your area, I would be happy to do one for you, or maybe even arrange to fly out if that's something you really want to do. I'm in Colorado, by the way, in case you don't know where I'm located. But anyway, if you want this keychain, I'm going to give you a little survey to fill out right now, and I'm going to do a drawing. So hang on, I got to post this to the chat. So if you click on this survey, uh, and fill that out, it shouldn't take you but a minute or two. I will draw a winner from whoever does it. So anyway, if you need my information, it's on the screen. You can call or text me at that number. That's my email. And then we would love to have you in our Facebook community if you're on Facebook. Not a huge Facebook fan, but it's a great area. It's a great place for us to have a private group where we can talk about all the things. And I have lots of recipes in there and lots of ideas and events and things like that. So you can just search for that name, Aroma Hope Margaret's Essentials. Or if you can't find it, just reach out to me and I'll send you an invitation.